Yo, what's up, everyone? Happy Monday to everyone who's watching this podcast. If you're watching this live or watching the replay, I am just really grateful for you guys to really just watching this, especially in the morning or in the afternoon or the evening when it comes to you with this particular podcast. But if you guys could hear me, if you guys could see me too when it comes to with my audio and video quality, feel free to let me know. And I welcome you guys to another Mindful Monday community conversation. This is a place for all of us to really just talk about mindfulness when it comes to with our daily lives and everything else, and just really, having discussion about that if you truly want to, or just listen, or to really just, listen and have a conversation, whatever that floats your boat too. So when it comes to with that, especially for this podcast, if you don't feel like talking or typing for any kind of reason, if you got your hands full, you just want to watch, that's totally cool because I'm not going to force you to do something that you don't feel comfortable doing. So when it comes to with that, and especially for those who are just watching this live and watching a replay, and speaking of that too, I'm about to turn on the fan here too. It's getting hot in this motherfucker. So, okay, so okay, when it comes to it, I just want to turn on the fan because I'm about to sweat up in this bitch. So sorry for cussing too when it comes to with that, but I just really want to address that too. So when it comes to with that, and for those who are just listening and just want to, get this podcast started. So let's get on with it, shall we?
Let's get on with it.
Okay, so when it comes to with this particular podcast, it's just really talking about mindfulness, and especially when it comes to with how we're feeling, what we're dealing with, etc. too, and mindfulness, and just really talking about it too, especially in that kind of category with you guys too. And it's just just really if you really just break it down to when it comes to with mindfulness, it's like a way for any of us to really just show compassion for our nervous system, because with our nervous system, it's really connected to our minds, and especially with our conscious, super conscious, and even just subconscious mind too. Our nervous system really just helps us to figure stuff out, and especially when it comes to with ourselves, other people, and our environment. And what better way to really just show compassion for your nervous system, especially, is to really just practicing mindfulness and just really doing that your own way too when it comes to with that, especially for anyone who's just listening to this podcast and for those who are watching the replay. So when it comes to with mindfulness, just really taking care of our conscious and super conscious and or subconscious and super conscious minds too, not in the category that you guys see on the presentation that you're watching right now. But if you really just break it down to when it comes to with that, it's just when it comes to with mindfulness and how we can really just apply it to with ourselves, but also with our environment too, or with other people. And just like in general, it can really just help us in so many ways. And especially when it comes to with mindfulness, and how our brains are so influential. It's just like, what we see on social media. It could be on TV, it could be with our family, it could be with our friends, or you can even just be with anybody too when it comes to with that. And especially when it comes to with our brains being the most influential part of our bodies too, if you really just think about it. Because what we listen to, what we touch, what we see, who we talk to, how we express ourselves, etc., it really just affects our mind, first and foremost. And especially when it comes to that influential part of our bodies too, the top of our heads, our crown, however you want to call it too, when it comes to with that, it really just is very influential. And how we can really just be gentle with our, not only with our nervous system, but also with our minds as well. It can really just help us in so many ways. So when it comes to with this podcast, and especially for those who are just listening to this and watching this podcast on the replay or watching it live, etc., and how you can really just take these, messages, or this information for yourself too for the month of November too, because And especially right now too, where things are pretty weird out there too. I'm not, I can't speak for the whole world as well because I know in different places, in different countries, people have a different way of living, how they really just connect with each other, how they express themselves, those kind of things. And in America too, where I'm from, things are really crazy right now. It's weird, with the what's going on in the political scene, which I won't explain because that's not the intention of this podcast when it comes to just explaining the actual political climate. That's not my forte. I'm all about equal opportunities for people, especially when it comes to with financial goals and with wellness too, and independence as well. So that's me. I'm a genuine nerdy hippie at heart too, which is, I'm fully embracing that too at the ripe age of 37. So when it comes to with that, and especially when it comes to with this part, really recognizing our minds are the most influential part of our body. And same goes with our heart too, but also with our minds first and foremost. What we see, who we listen to, or what we listen to, or how we express ourselves, how we treat ourselves or other people, how we treat our environment. It really plays a role in our minds, and really just being aware of that when it comes to with just really practicing that compassion with our minds and even with our nervous system with mindfulness too. So when it comes to with that, and especially when it comes to with like any kind of self-care practices that can really help you to really just practice mindfulness. And especially it could be from just, it could be with oracle cards too, for example, kind of like as you can see too on the screen. Or it could really just be talking with a friend or someone who really listens to you, really, especially from a healthy space where you can really just share opinions without having to just jump at each other's throats or anything like that. Or it could even just be with yourself, just really meditating, any kind of meditative practices, whether it be sitting locust style or even just on a chair, laying down on the floor in Shavasana too, for those who know yoga and Sanskrit as well. The yogis out there too. So when it comes to with that, and especially for those who are listening and wondering how you can really just practicing mindfulness, you hear this term over and over again on social media, especially on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you know, X, you name it too. So when it comes to just, how you can really just practicing mindfulness and how you can really apply it to your everyday life in your own way, simply by just, practicing self-care that really just feels right to you. Whether you're a man, if you're a woman, black or white, Italian, European, you know, straight or gay too. So when it comes to just how you can really just practicing mindfulness and how you can really integrate that with other practices, even activities too. It doesn't have to be wellness related. It can really just be simple by just playing your favorite video game. To all the gamers out there too, whether it be on the PS5, it could be on the PC, or it could be, or should I say console or PC? Consoles are good too. Whether you have a PS5 or a Nintendo or Xbox, shout out to all the gamers out there too. I'm not discriminating against when it comes to system consoles, but that's another topic, which I'll probably talk more about that on my gaming channel too, if you guys want to subscribe to that. But when it comes to just talking about mindfulness and really just being brief about it too, because I understand that you guys are just busy, just living your lives, trying to get paid, trying to, survive out there, which I'm doing too when it comes to just, sharing some really powerful information that can really just help you to really just support your nervous system in a really powerful way that really just suits you. So when it comes to with that, and especially for those who are just, living life and doing your best to really just survive, to really just grow, to prosper, to really just evolve, and to really just figuring out your purpose, whatever that may be, or whatever that's going on in your life too. Just like how you can really just practicing mindfulness and really just applying that in your own way, especially in an ethical, genuine, and transparent way, where you can really just be gentle with yourself, the people that you care about, and your environment as well. Showing that compassion is to really just practicing that with self-care. And sometimes I keep hearing saying self-care is selfish and all that. it can be when it comes to with the, you know, that perspective of read, but when it comes to self-care from a healthy space, it's where you can really just, it's really important to really just take care of yourself, but also to really just, you know, be open to really just take, be looking. Look, I'm tongue tied today. Just looking out for the people that you care about. It could be with your family, with your friends, acquaintances. It could be with your lovers too, for anyone who you're dating or if you're in a serious relationship with too. How you guys can really just practicing mindfulness together, and especially in a safe space where you can really just practice that, expressing your voice, expressing your creativity, your energy, your time, all those things too. And especially when it comes to with that, that kind of degree too. And when it comes to with this particular podcast too, and also too, first and foremost, especially when it comes to self-care, just like how you can really just practicing self-care within yourself, it's just really practicing the rain meditation too. And it's like a really one form of meditation by Tara Brach too that I've heard of too. So shout out to her when it comes to Tara Brach. She's amazing, well known in the wellness community and spiritual communities too. She has a lot of resources, podcasts, and all that. And she's well known in the wellness field too, and spiritual communities too. So if you guys ever want to check out her work and her resources, it's linked in the description of this podcast at any time if you want to check it out. So when it comes to with rain, wondering what rain means, not talking about like the actual element of water, which is totally fine too. Rain is really good to wash things away, to make new stuff grow, washing away the old, make room for the new. In my perspective too, of course, when it comes to my shamanism, life coaching stuff too. But if you really just think about it too, or just break it down too, not just thinking about it, but feeling it and breaking it down, it's kind of like a way of just really practicing compassion towards your nervous system, especially when it comes to with our minds too, and how you can really just practice that and to really just practice that in your own way. And whether if you're having like a shitty day or if you're having like a really fucking awesome day too, when it comes to with that, just really taking the time for yourself to really just know that you can't get this wrong, and how you can really just acknowledge that when it comes to just practicing mindfulness. It's really just be gentle with ourselves. Sometimes we have shitty days, we go through shitty stuff, especially if you're living in a country that's on the verge of just everything going to shit. Or if you're in a place where you're just really feeling fucking awesome too. Or if you're just really going through stuff, because life isn't easy. You know, people and circumstances test us so many ways, including ourselves too. But how you can really just take the time for yourself to really just bring that compassion towards yourself in a really powerful way too, when it comes to with that, especially when it comes to with practicing, rain, too. So for those who are open to really just practicing like some fun activities, when it comes to with this podcast, because with my particular podcast that I'm doing monthly for now on too, I like to, connect with people and to really just, if people are open to really just doing some, I say like cooperative kind of activities where you can really just regulate your nervous system and to really just be in touch with that in your own way too. So whatever you guys can, for anyone who's watching this live and for those who are watching the replay too, when it comes to with this particular podcast, and especially when it comes to if you have some free time for yourself, it could be like 5 minutes or 10 or even one, that's totally fine too. If you guys can't do that for any kind of reason, that is totally understandable. If you need to work, if you need to, take care of anything that's important, that is totally cool. And I respect your decision and time about that as well. So when it comes to with how you can really just practicing rain, just really taking the time for yourself to really just, relaxing your body, relaxing your face, relaxing your jaw muscles, your mind, and just really letting all that go in this very moment. Just really taking the time for yourself to really just be with yourself right now. Just really taking the time to really just be with your breath, taking a deep breath in with the inhale and release the breath out with the exhale. And just really connecting with that in your own way, simply by just taking a deep breath in and then releasing the breath out through the mouth or through the nose, whichever that feels comfortable for you. And just really going at your own pace when it comes to just taking a deep inhale and exhale. You can breathe in for how many counts as you wish. If you want to breathe in for 2 and exhale for 2, or breathe in for 3 and exhale for 3 when you're ready to release. Just really going with the flow with that. And as you are just really relaxing in this very moment and just really taking the time for yourself to really just recognizing what's going on with yourself, just really recognizing how you're feeling, how your body feels, how your mind feels, and how your energy feels too. Just really being in touch with how you're feeling right now, wherever that may be, whatever that's coming up, without even just judging it or just really oversimplify it. Just really recognizing what's going on and just really being in touch with that. And just really allowing to feel what you're feeling, wherever that may be. It could be just by, whether thoughts come up or emotions, just really allowing to feel that too in this very moment. And just really taking the time for yourself to really just investigate, see where those emotions and thoughts are really just coming from when it comes to you with what you're thinking and how you're feeling in this very moment. Just really taking the time for yourself to really just diving deep into what you're recognizing and allowing in this very moment. And when you're ready, just really taking the time for yourself to really just bring in that nurturing energy towards you. So how do you want to just bring that nurturing, compassionate energy, you can really bring one hand to your heart, one to your solar plexus, or you can really just do some energy or emotional field tapping, just simply by just really doing some tapping near your throat, near your heart, near your stomach, or anywhere that really just is really just calling out for you too. Just really recognizing that without having to overthink it or just really just think about it a certain way. Just really being present in the moment. Just really having fun with that in this very moment. To really just let go, to nurture yourself, to express yourself in a really creative way without being hard on ourselves or be too judgmental. Just really having fun with that. And just really breathing with that too, with your breath, going at a natural pace that really just feels right to you. Breathing in for how many counts as you wish. Just if you want to breathe in for 2 and exhale for 2, or exhale for 3 and breathe in for 3. Just really going with the flow with that. Breathe in with how many counts as you wish and exhaling the same amount of counts as you wish to, whether through out the mouth or through the nose, whichever that feels comfortable for you. And just really taking the time for yourself to really just creating a mantra or affirmation to really just lift yourself up, to nurture yourself, and however kind of affirmation or mantra that you want to create while you're just taking that deep breath in with the inhale, inhaling through the nose, and then exhaling that out through the mouth or through the nose, whichever that feels comfortable for you. And just really being gentle with yourself and really just taking the time for yourself to really just thanking yourself for taking the time throughout your busy day, wherever that you're going through, to really just be in touch with your nervous system, to regulate it, to really just bring some nurturing energy to let things go that really needs to be let go of, and just really practicing that in a really powerful way. And always know that we have the ability and the power to really just practice this beautiful form of self care. So, whether you're at work, if you're at home, or if you need to just take some time for yourself to really just regulate your nervous system and to really just bring that compassion towards your nervous system, just really practicing this beautiful form of self care at any time and wherever that you need to do it, just do it. So, as you are finishing up, and especially thanking yourselves too, whether you have your hands in prayer or simply still having your hands on your heart, on your stomach, or on your sides, wherever that may be, wherever that feels comfortable for you. Just simply taking the time for yourself to really just being aware of your body. If you need to just wiggle your toes, if you need to just stretch out your arms, if you need to just do some stretching, wherever that may be. And when you're ready, you can come back and open your eyes. And so when it comes to with that kind of meditation, I know for me personally too, and it's been such a minute just to doing like a meditation live with you guys too, because usually I can just do it at a heartbeat, but hopefully you gain something from this too when it comes to with practicing R.A.I.N, and especially, whether it be like a sitting down meditation form or even just by moving around, you can really just practice this in any shape or form too when it comes to with this podcast. So for those who are really just watching this and value this information too, I'm wondering how you can really just learn more about the R.A.I.N meditation too when it comes to with that. There are some really free resources from Tara Brock if you're really interested in checking it out, which is linked in the description below when it comes to with this particular podcast. So at any time, if you guys ever want to watch, not just watch, excuse my language, for anyone who's really is curious about R.A.I.N and wondering what it's all about, just really checking out Tara Brock's resources when it comes to with that, which is linked in the description of this podcast too, which I'm pointing at the bottom too, just to get your guys' attention too. So when it comes to with that, and for those who are watching this live and watching the replay too, just really taking the time for yourself to really just explore it when you have the time to do so. And hopefully when it comes to with this R.A.I.N demonstration, I hope it has been really helpful for you too, especially for those who are new practicing this and for those who are experienced practicing this as well. So yeah, when it comes to with that, and especially when it comes to with this podcast, let me see if I can switch up my camera real quick. So let me take this down. There we go. So for those who are open to Oracle and tarot readings, usually I say that too, just because I have Oracle decks too, and I have tarot decks, but usually I use Oracle cards too. Excuse me. So for those who are you really just curious at any time too when it comes to with that, or if they want like to book a reading with me too, you guys can definitely reach out to me in my email, or if you guys want to check out my links below too when it comes to with that, feel free to check it out too at any time when it comes to if you want to book like a full oracle reading with me too. No pressure if you guys don't want to, or if you can't for any kind of reason. I just really want to help you guys out when it comes to just if you want some insight about certain things when it comes to love, with your career, with spirituality, you name it too. So when it comes to with that, and for those too who want to just learn more about mindfulness as well too, and you just really want to, learn more about that and gain some insight as well, feel free to reach out to me about that as well. There's also a link too when it comes to if you ever want to just book like a session with me too or work with me too when it comes to just learning more about mindfulness. You're more than welcome to just check out, the form that I've created too, which is linked in my links in the description below too when it comes to with that. So when you check out the All My Links website, it has all my information when it comes to booking a session or subscription prices or anything too that works with your budget and time and schedule. so I can really help you out and work with you when it comes to with your comfort level. So when it comes to with that, and I don't see any questions in the chat too. I know you guys are probably busy with life, so I'm just gonna pull some cards for the collective, so you guys can really just take some insightful information that can help you throughout the day too when it comes to with that. And I'm just gonna, let you guys go on your way too when it comes to with that. And I'll definitely just, do that in a really powerful way. So let's see what we have for the month of November when it comes to with mindfulness. So let's see. So emptiness, which is a really interesting message here too. So emptiness. Let me see if I can pull this camera back a bit. There we go. Emptiness. If you guys can see that. Let me pull it right here. I don't know if you guys can see that with the brightness out there too. So let me see if I could dim the light here too, because it's kind of bright. Oh, whoa. The sun is leaning on the ass. Pause. So there you go. Dim the light just a little bit. Let me see if I can fix it. There we go. That's a lot better. So let's see what we have with the other bits. So the message when it comes to mindfulness. Just really exploring that as well. Karma. So that's an interesting, emptiness and karma. And what is the next message that we have too when it comes to with that? Let's see what these messages. Let's see what. So another chance. So emptiness, karma, and getting another chance. It's just really interesting. So when it comes to with these powerful messages that you guys see on the screen too, especially for those who are watching this live and for those who are watching a replay too, when it comes to with any of these particular messages that you guys see on the screen. So especially if you guys could see them too, I know with my camera too, how the sun hits, it really just looks, the cards look brighter than they should too. So hopefully with the quality camera, it's really, you guys can really see them too. So when it comes to with these messages, and especially for those who are watching this live and watching a replay too, when it comes to with this podcast, and if anyone resonates with these messages too, when it comes to with these, for those who are watching, feel free to share that too in the comment section. So when it comes to with emptiness, just really, taking the time for yourself to really just release any kind of assumptions that you have about yourself too. And sometimes, that's easier said than done when it comes to just really, finding that form of emptiness, releasing those assumptions that you have about yourself or anything in general too. And it's just like we all have assumptions sometimes, and especially when it comes to with just, with certain things and people and our environment too, whatever that may be too, when it comes to with this podcast, but for your, healing journey and especially for your overall health, releasing those assumptions can really just help you to really just let go of certain things that are no longer needed and to really just learn a new perspective as well when it comes to with that. And especially doing the hard work on yourself too, truly just, releasing those assumptions too. And just really doing that in a really ethical, non-judgmental way to where you can really just, learn something new, but also to really just, let stuff go too when it comes to with that. And when it comes to with the next message too, which is all about karma, as you guys can see on the screen too. So when it comes to with karma, like every action has a reaction too. So when it comes to with, untying the knots and really just recognizing that too, when it comes to karma, every action has a reaction, whether it be good or bad, healthy and unhealthy too. So just really recognizing that too when it comes to with that. And it's really doing that in a really powerful way, especially for your overall well-being. So whatever that you do in the world, and especially when it comes to with how you treat people, how you treat yourself, and with your environment, it really just has that effect on you too, and especially to everything and everyone that's around it, if that makes sense. So when it comes to with what you guys see on the screen too, when it comes to with this message and when it comes to karma, what you put out really just comes back to you tenfold, basically, when it comes to with this particular message right here too. So just really, recognizing that too, especially when it comes to with the middle message that if it resonates with anyone who's just watching this podcast, especially for those who are watching the replay too. So, and especially when it comes to with this deck too, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I didn't understand what this message meant until I just really sat with that too. So when it comes to with just like karma, it's like, oh, it's like, duh. Just really sitting with that. It's like, every action has a reaction too when it comes to with that. And just really, recognizing that from a healthy space to where it's just like, what you do, what you put out really comes back to you tenfold when it comes to with that, how you treat people, how you treat yourself, how you treat your environment, etc. And so when it comes to with the next message, if anyone resonates with this one too, it's just like really getting another chance, getting another chance to start something new or to evolve, to grow, to prosper, to really just doing something powerful and meaningful in your life too when it comes to with that. And especially when it comes to with, wherever that you're going through, any kind of challenges that you dealt with, it could be financial, it could be, with anything too, just really breaking it down when it comes to with these messages. I mean, with this message per se too, but really just taking the time for yourself and to really just getting another chance to really just start something new, to really just change for the better, for yourself or for the people that you care about, etc. too, when it comes to with that. And just really doing that in a really powerful way to really just, gain another chance to really just doing something meaningful. So wherever that may be when it comes to for and especially for those who are just watching this live and watching a replay, just really taking the time for yourself to really just, if you have another chance to do something meaningful, to really just change for the better for yourself, for the people that you care about, for your environment, especially in your communities, that can really just be impactful and all that. Just really, don't let that, chance go to waste, basically, too. But kind of like the butterfly, when it comes to with that, to really just evolve in your own way, to really just grow, to prosper, to get another chance to doing something meaningful too when it comes to with this message. So I'll share these messages again if you guys can't see them. So when it comes to with emptiness, let me see if I could really make this message more meaningful too. So when it comes to with this message, just really taking the time for yourself to really just empty all assumptions if you're like feeling heavy about certain things and with your thoughts and with your energy, just really taking the time for yourself to really just empty that too, especially releasing that too from a healthy space when it comes to with this message. And when it comes to with karma, and especially for those who are watching this live and watching a replay, just really taking the time for yourself to really just understand that every action has a reaction and what you give towards the universe will come back to you tenfold, wherever that may be. So just really recognizing that from a healthy space, and especially if you're on your own spiritual path and wellness journey, just really know that what you give out to the universe will come back to you tenfold, and vice versa too. So just really recognizing that from a healthy space. And when it comes to you with the reincarnation, getting another chance to do something meaningful, just really doing that in a really powerful way to really doing something meaningful, like whether that may be for your overall health, for the people that you care about, for the environment. Just really, not wasting that chance doing something meaningful, and to really just, wherever that may be, just really, don't let that, second chance or another chance go to waste, basically, too, when it comes to with that. And just really doing that in a really ethical and powerful way, too. So, with that being said, when it comes to with these messages, and especially for those who are watching this live and watching the replay too, when it comes to with this channel, I really do appreciate you for taking the time throughout your busy day to really just, watching this podcast. And especially for those who are just watching this podcast, in the morning or in the afternoon or the evening all over the globe. Because I know you guys are so busy making money, trying to survive, trying to take care of your families, yourself, your environment, or all the above, which I respect too, because I'm trying to do that in my own way too. When it comes to just supporting myself, getting paid for what I love to do, and just really being there for people too. I can really just help them out when it comes to just learning about mindfulness if they're curious about that, or if I could really just help them out with certain things too when it comes to with that. Because I'm just a life coach, but I'm not a therapist. If I was, I'll be making a lot more content too when it comes to with that. But I'm just a life coach specialized in certain wellness modalities too, like with you know shamanic healing, Reiki, yoga, and all that somatic healing, CBT, and emotional field tapping, and all that. And when it comes to with this particular kind of podcast too, for anyone who's just watching this too, and I'm still getting my education when it comes to with relationships as well, learning about conscious kink and tantric mastery too. So I'm gonna talk more about that on my new channel that I created a while back too, called Somatic Healer. So if you guys are open to that as well when it comes to with that particular podcast, stay tuned. Feel free to subscribe to that channel too, which is linked in my this channel too. If you guys see the front header of that too, so if you guys ever want to check that out too, it's totally new. It's in the works basically too when it comes to with that. And also too, before I go, for anyone who's just watching this live and watching a replay too, when it comes to with this particular kind of podcast as well. And I keep moving these cards for any kind of reason. That's my OCD kind of, you know, brain there too. So I apologize for that. And I want to play a video for you guys too when it comes to just what I've seen too on social media. And you guys are more than welcome to share your feelings and opinions and thoughts about this video too, at any time. So when it comes to with that, with this particular video, let me see if you guys can hear it too when it comes to with this video. And shout out to, what's her name? Her name is K Cola.
Hanging around broken people will make you broke. All of us are a little bit broken, but y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. These are the people that no matter how much money you give, they're always going to be broke. People who complain and don't do anything on their own. These are the people who keep repeating cycles and patterns. You're going to spend thousands of dollars on therapy just alone dealing with these traumatizing people. They're a distraction. You're going to have no energy. You're not going to be creative. You're not going to be able to think wisely, to make tough decisions, to make smart decisions, because your brain is so stuck in this fight or flight mode just from dealing with them. These type of people have you feeling completely unmotivated, stressed out. You can't even solve your own problems because you're so busy trying to help them solve theirs. You could save thousands of dollars simply by switching to healthy people. I love you. I hope you heal. Hanging around broken people will.
Yeah, shout out to K Cola with that video too. And if I'll make sure to post the original video too. And I know I said this in the previous podcast, so I'm gonna do that as well. So for those who really want to just check out that video too, for those who are on Instagram as well, you're more than welcome to check her out as well. So when it comes to with that, and she has a point too, just because when it comes to people just taking advantage of your time, your energy, and they just really, trying to put you down, trying to really just take, and they don't give to reciprocate that when it comes to that connection, whether it could be family, it could be with your lovers, it could be with acquaintances and friends too. Just really, setting that boundary to where you just say enough, enough of that shit too, or even just doing it in a ways too that's kind of impactful like this.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So when it comes to with that, for people who really just take, when it comes to with your money, your energy, your time, especially, in this environment as well, just really taking the time for yourself to really just setting that boundary. Just saying this
Ain't nobody got time for that.
can really just be helpful in so many ways. Or you could say something like this.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
So it's like,
I understood that reference.
just really setting that boundary with yourself too, and with other people, if who really just take, and you're still trying to just figure stuff out, how you can really just please them. But in the end, you can really just do so much for certain people. You really got to really just respect yourself to where you don't really just feel drained or just really unmotivated to really just doing what you need to do and solving problems and finding solutions to survive and all that stuff too, So when it comes to with that, and especially for those who are, people pleasers before, or as a people pleaser myself, I'm a former people pleaser, codependent too. I've been that way for a long, long time until I figured out too from a therapist when it comes to just, you know, recognizing that within myself and how I'm just really giving without just being reciprocated that too. So it's kind of like learning how to really just respecting myself as a person and as a man too, to where it's just like I don't let people just take and it'll just give back too, So when it comes to with that, and especially, I encourage people to really just, to respect themselves in their own way too, especially if you're a man, if you're a woman too, if you're straight, if you're gay, bisexual, you name it, just really, setting boundaries with yourself and other people to where you can really just respect yourself too, and really just doing that in a really powerful and impactful way too. So, and if people don't really just like that, and if they really just feel a certain way about it, they can just really do this.
And shove it up your ass. All up in your ass.
Or they can just really, they say something like,
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
Or they can really just kick rocks with no socks. Or you just, say like in your minds, like, you know what?
Shut up, bitch!
Or just say something like this.
Shut your bitch ass up!
So when it comes to with that, and just really respecting yourself as a person is the most impactful thing you can do, especially practicing mindfulness, just because it's really important to really just respecting yourself to where you can really just not only to regulate your nervous system, but also to really just set a boundary too, to where you can really just know when to give and know when to just stop that too. So especially with yourself and other people and your environment especially too. So hopefully, all the information that I shared too, from these cards to the rain meditation practice, has been really helpful for anyone who's just watching this podcast. And I appreciate you for just really taking the time throughout your busy day to really just listening and to really just watching this podcast too. I know you guys are so busy just doing what you need to do when it comes to with this podcast. You guys need to feed your kids, feed yourselves. You need to, get paid for your services and your time and your energy. And I respect that too, because I'm trying to do that in my own way as well, especially when it comes to with these podcasts and what I'm trying to create too, when it comes to creating a community for people to really just grow, to prosper, to support each other too, when it comes to with that. So if anyone needs help when it comes to with CBT or with mindfulness, with Reiki, somatic healing, and so much more, feel free to reach out to me on an email, or if you want to check out my links as well, which is linked in the description below too. Or if you guys ever want to just, flirt with the like button too when it comes to with that, or not just flirt with the like button, but also do this.
Smash.
Smash the like button. And I'll say it again. Hold up.
Smash.
Smashing the like button too. Or you could really just puny god the like button too.
Puny God.
So when it comes to with that, and especially with this podcast too, for anyone who's just watching this live and watching that replay too, I appreciate you for really just taking the time throughout your busy day to really just, supporting me too. And I really do appreciate that. I don't take that, for granted, whether you're just, if it's one person watching or if it's two, three. I appreciate all you guys too. And I appreciate my following, not just on YouTube, but also on Instagram, especially on my Instagram pages, TikTok pages, Twitter, Facebook, you name it too, when it comes to with those social media platforms and these social media streets and all that. So when it comes to with this particular monthly podcast, I will be going back live on Wednesday. So if you guys want to talk about wellness, it could be from just with cards, it could be with certain like products too when it comes to with that, like with the deep blue rub and essential oils and natural products and all that good stuff too, or even just like recipes too, creating your own kind of like electrolyte drink too when it comes to with that, if you guys are open to that, of course too. No pressure if you guys don't feel comfortable with that. So again, I thank you guys for watching, and I'm looking forward to really hang out with you guys on Wednesday. You guys take care of yourselves, especially in America too. I know it's damn crazy out there too when it comes to what's happening in the environment, but also to really just learning how to really just be compassionate with your nervous system, especially when it comes to practicing mindfulness, can really just it can really take you so far. And it can really take you so far in life to where you can really just bring that gentleness towards yourself too when it comes to with that. And especially how you can really just practicing mindfulness in any kind of situation. Do it while you're at work, if you're at home, wherever that may be too. You can really just practicing mindfulness anywhere at any time, especially when it comes to with just regulating and supporting your nervous system too. So yes, when it comes to practicing mindfulness, the sky's the limit when it comes to just practicing that, and you can't get it wrong too. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can really just share too when it comes to with that. And big shout out to all the people who are here. Kate Travel, what's up? She says I'll catch you next time. Just stop by it. Of course, I appreciate that, Kate Travel. Shout out to you. So thank you for dropping in and saying hello. I know it's kind of like short too, and I'm really just making these podcasts to really just stay as long as I can too when it comes to with that. So yeah, I thank you for really just showing support, and especially when it comes to with just watching this podcast, liking the content, and even if you guys love the videos too, if you feel entertained by it, if you learn something new about it as well, you feel free to share your feelings and your opinions and thoughts about it too, and at any time. So yeah, I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody too who's a mod, and for those who are new to the channel and everything else too. I don't take it for granted, and I really do am grateful for you guys too when it comes to with your support. And I will see you guys around in these, social media streets. And yes, likewise, K Travel. Nice to see you too. So when it comes to with that, I am about to, do my daily mind body connecting study and all that, because I'm a nerdy hippie at heart, and I really hardcore with this shit too. So I'm hardcore to where it's just like I'm not like a try hard or anything, which I'm not. I'm just really dedicated basically too. So I'm a healthy balance, nerdy hippie. I'm not like a try hard hippie too. So that's another topic for another day too. So when it comes to with that, I'll see you guys around in these social media streets, and you guys take care. And if anyone gives you any kind of crap for any kind of reason, and especially if they're trying to put you down or anything like that too, you just give them this energy like this.
You know you done fucked up, man.
So it's kind of like, you done fucked up. So it's kind of like, if people don't accept you for who you are, You kicked them out of your life, I guess.
Get the fuck out of here! The fuck!
And just say this too.
People don't like how you be yourself. Fuck them. Fuck them up against the wall. Wear handcuffs on and crazy through all the lips. That's all you do.
That's all you do, God damn it. You know what? Just making a promise to yourself to really regulate your nervous system and to really just being gentle with yourself too. Kind of like what this guy did.
And that is a promise.
You're just gonna tell them you're coming after them. Oh yeah, that's funny. K-Travel like this. What? Going crazy. So yes, indeed. Oh man. So I'll see you guys around on Wednesday. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day. You know, continue to practicing mindfulness in your own way, supporting your nervous system, your mind, bringing that compassion towards your nervous system, towards your mind, towards your heart, towards yourself as a person too, when it comes to with that. And I will see you guys around in the social media streets. So much love, many blessings, and take care.